Hello, Ruffer family. This is Dr. Walker with another Tech Bit. In today's Tech Bit, we will learn how to create an assessment in Performance Matters. Once you're logged into Performance Matters, on the left-hand side, you will see a series of tabs. To be able to create an assessment, you will click on Tests and New Test. Once you are in here, you will see several areas. At the top, we have Add Items and Generate Items. Generate Items allows you to use PowerSchool's artificial intelligence called PowerBuddy to create assessment items based off of your standard. Great thing about this is that you can personalize these items depending on student needs. So an example would be when I was a special ed teacher, I had a student that was autistic that would only work if the question was related to dinosaurs. So I could generate questions using this artificial intelligence. I would choose the standard of what I'm assessing, and I would write a short sentence or two about a question that was based off of a specific dinosaur, and it would generate a whole test for me if I desired based off of that little information. Add items allows you multiple different ways to add items to this test. But before we get started on that, we have to set up our test. And we do that through filling out these two tabs, the Properties and Administration. So under Properties, we have to give it a title. And for right now, we are asking that you put specific information in here, what grade the test is going to be, subject, and a short description of the test. So this is just going to be practice assignment and the school year. The reason why we want school year in here is so next year you can copy this assessment, make any changes you need, and modify it to 25-26. Then you can use the same assessment next year as well. You can give it a description if you desire. You will choose an assessment category. You do have multiple options. Benchmark is a benchmark. It should be given anywhere from 2 to 4 times a year. Teacher formative, this is a assessment that you can give. It could be a chapter assessment. It could be a unit assessment. These formatives are typically going to be longer tests and not given nearly as often as a classroom assessment. Classroom assessment can really be anything. It could be a 3 to 5 question ticket out the door just to see how they mastered what you taught that day. It could be a 10 question test at the end of the week to be able to see how they're performing on what you've been teaching all week. And then there is semester final. Obviously, it is a final for the semester. We will choose classroom assessment in this one. Now I will choose course type. When you click on course type, you will only see what you teach available here. You will choose your grade level. As you can see, it's only showing one grade level available. I will choose a performance band. I do have 2 available right now. One is just a generic grading scale, and the other one is an assessment default. And this allows the assessments to be color-coded based off of what you choose. You can always create a new performance band if that is needed. I can also create them at the district level. Once I click on administration, I have many options here. First is it is automatically clicked for this assessment to be private. If I want to share this assessment with other team members that teach the same subject and same grade as I do, I unclick private, and then once this is saved, everyone that teaches your grade and your subject at your school will have access to this test. You will choose an assessment window. It is always open for a month. However, if you wanted this test just to be available this week, you would want it to start today, and you would want it to end on Friday. and then I apply this, and it will only be available during these times. Please realize that when you go to your assessment manager, you will be able to see all the tests that have been created. One other thing that you do need to adjust here is Limit Test Center. Here you will need to choose your school and the section that this is attached to. If you do not do this, it will not save. Now I've set up my test. Now I can add items. To be able to add items, I can use keyword, or I can copy and paste my standard into my box to be able to find information. So today I'm going to do a keyword search, and I am going to look for just parts of the earth. Again, very generic keyword search. And so I can actually narrow this down. So I want to select a 7th grade, and we'll see that there are 22,000 questions that relate to parts of the earth. Of course, some of these are not going to be related to what I'm looking at doing, so I can continue to narrow this down. I want this related to Oklahoma standards, and I can actually choose which standard I want it to relate to. I am going to choose Oklahoma 14, Oklahoma 14, and that brings me down to 1,000 questions over this. And I can even choose my depth of knowledge. I want this to be geared towards level 3 questioning. And once I get to this different level, I can come through and start looking at questions I like. And I'm going to click on the box to choose the ones I want and hit Add Assessment. And now they are all waiting for me to be able to look at and approve. And once I have approved this, I can press Save. Once this is saved, I can then find it in my assessment manager. In the next test, I will be showing you how to assign these assessments on Schoology. Again, it's important to be able to put your dates, and if you get an error sign at the top, it is normally because you forgot to add your school center and your test section. Thank you, and you have a great day.